Drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
What's up, guys? This is Manoj Choptani. I welcome you all on behalf of the Edupedia world. Fasten your seatbelts. We are about to take off with the third presentation with the first topic of the day, and that will be these three. So number one is bought out deal. This topic has been asked in C final examination November 2010, November 2008 and November 1999 as well. So I have just mentioned in precisely over here November 1999, but it has been asked in two more attempts as well. So what does bought out deal actually mean? So guys, where a company basically wants to get money earlier, it can find a member of the over-the-counter exchange of India, that is OTCEI, who would be interested in acting as a sponsor for that company to get it listed on OTC exchange. OTCEI basically is going to allow that companies to place its equity intended to be offered to the public with a sponsor member at a mutually agreed price through the concept of bought out deal. So then what's going to happen is sponsors can be the authorized members of OTCEI or any kind of merchant banker. The sponsor member would buy out the total equity which the company basically intends to offer to the public. Now then what's going to happen is this bought out deal basically is going to ensure faster availability of the funds to the company for timely completion of its projects. And then the member would later on sell the shares of the company to the public through offer for sales, and thus the sponsor member takes or buys the shares in the bought out arrangement and offloads the shares to the general public at a predetermined price. Now this is about stock market. I can easily explain you this thing with the help of an example, and that will be, let's suppose you come up to me, okay, and you told me, sir, I'm having almost 10,000 shares in my hand. And I said, cool, perfect dude, how can I help you in that case? Sir, what's gonna happen is I'll be selling you those shares for rupees 10. Okay, I need 1 lakh rupees and I have got 10,000 shares. I'll be selling you these shares for 10 rupees each. You'll be providing me 1 lakh. I'll say okay, cool. Now it's your headache. Now you can go and sell off these 10,000 shares to the public as and when you wish to. I'll say okay, and what should be the price which I should fix upon? Okay, cool, you can decide it yourself. I am just concerned about my 10 rupees for per share. Cool, I'll be happy to help you out. What's gonna happen is I'll be paying you those 10 rupees per share, and I'll be paying you 1 lakh rupees, and out of the same I'll be obtaining or procuring 10,000 shares from your end. Now what's gonna happen is I'm going to sell those 10,000 shares to the public at a price of, let's say, 12 rupees or maybe 13 rupees for whatever amount I wish to. This is something which is going to happen in bought out deal. I initially bought out your complete securities for the consideration. Now I have got the complete right to sell off those securities to the general public as per my interest. This is what's going to happen in bought out deal. So I hope you guys now got the complete idea as to what's going to happen in bought out deal and how you should write your examination paper as well if in case this question comes up. So this was all about bought out deal. Moving on to the next thing, that is odd lot dealers. This is again a question which has been asked n number of times. I've just mentioned one single attempt over here, and that is C final November 1997. So what do you mean by odd lot dealers? By odd lot, what do you understand, guys? There are either two of the lots. Regular lot, that is regular lot size, 10,000 shares, 1 lakh shares, 10 lakh shares, direct regular size. If I'll talk about odd lot is something which is less than the regular size. So who all will be called upon as odd lot dealers? It's very simple. Yes, you are guessing it very right. So odd lot dealers, guys, basically are the persons who deal in odd lot orders. That is the one in which the order size is basically less than the regular order size. Such orders are traded in the odd lot market. Odd lot dealers are basically the ones who buy those shares in odd lots and they make them into marketable lots for sale. Then what's going to happen is these odd lot dealers buy and sell odd lot shares at a price which is higher or lower than the market price. That is a very usual and common practice. And then they play a very important role, since in case of popular issues, a number of small investors are allotted shares in lots smaller than the marketable lots. This is a short note on the odd lot dealers. Who all are them? So these are the ones who basically deal in odd lot orders, and they work for the odd lot market. They buy the shares in odd lots and make them marketable into for sale, and they basically procure these at a prices higher or lower than the normal market prices. This was all about the odd lot dealers. This question has again been asked in one of the CA final examination. All you need to keep in mind is what does odd lot dealer basically mean, and you will get the complete idea as to how you should proceed while you are writing this thing in your answers. Moving on to the last thing, and that is the order books. This is again a topic which has been like asked n number of times. CA final May 99 attempt is just one example of it. So what do you mean by order books? So guys, order books are basically the books wherein orders are basically collected somehow, if I can say. These are the order books wherein the orders are serially numbered and time stamped on receipt, and then they are processed basically for the potential match. Let's suppose I am saying that I want to avail the opportunity of buying the Reliance shares for rupees 100 for 1000 quantities. At the same time, there is another person in another part of the country, and he is also willing to sell 100 rupees Reliance shares for 1000 quantities. So what's going to happen is his order is going to get matched with my order, and then this will be like completing in that order book. So orders are basically serially numbered, and these are time stamped on receipt and then processed for the potential match. So where a match is not found, then the orders are stored in order books in time, price, priority, and the sequence is usually the normal one: best price and within the price by the time priority. So by price priority, I simply mean that if two orders are entered into the system, let's suppose simultaneously two other orders are being entered into the system, the order having the best price gets the higher priority. Why? Because they have like basically provided you an opportunity to buy your security at a higher price. So the one which is having the best price, it's gonna add the higher priority. Now, if I'll talk about the time priority, what's gonna happen is this basically means if two orders having the same price are entered, then the order that is entered first gets the higher priority. So this was all about price priority and time priority. Now moving on to the second part, and that will be what all are the different type of order books. So these are basically primarily 6. Number 1, regular lot book. Number 2, special terms book. Number 3, stop loss book. Number 4, odd lot book. Number 5, spot book. And finally it's auction book. So what's going to happen in regular kind of lot size book is all the regular lot orders that do not have any following attributes or conditions which are attached to them, all or none AON, minimum fill, stop loss, all these things will be covered under regular lot book. Then there is one special terms book. All orders that have either of the following attributes, maybe like all or none or minimum fill, they'll be like covered under special terms book. Number 3 is the stop loss book. Stop loss order, have you heard about this term stop loss? So what's going to happen in stop loss is I'll briefly make you understand with an example. So let's suppose I bought the shares of Lloyd Electric. Okay, currently Lloyd is around trading for rupees 250 something. So I bought those shares for 270. Okay, so if in case I wish to keep it a stop loss, what's going to happen is I'll ask my broker that broker, if in case the prices goes below 260, I procured the same at 270, and if in case the prices went beyond, if I'll talk about the decreasing trend beyond 260, you just need to cancel out the transaction as soon as possible, as and when the tick touches 260. That is something which I've like created for myself, that I'll be like able to take up the risk of going 10 rupees down, not beyond that. So that is the fixation limit which has been fixed by me. That is the threshold limit. So this is what stop loss basically means. So we want to stop the loss in that particular case. So stop loss book is again a different kind of order book. So all the stop loss orders basically till the trigger price basically specified in the order reach or passes. So all these things will be covered over HCL. So when the trigger price is reached or surpassed, the stop loss order is released in the regular lot book. The stop loss condition is met in two of the situations. Sell order in the stop loss book is triggered when the last traded price in the normal market reaches or falls below that trigger price which I just told you. And if in case I'll talk about the buy price, so again that is triggered when the last traded price in the normal market reaches or exceeds the trigger price. That is something which will be included in stop loss book. Moving on to the odd lot book, spot and auction book. So all the orders with quantities less than the marketable lot in the system will be covered under odd lot. Simple. Then all the spot orders which are having only one settlement period which is different, only the settlement period is different in that particular system, rest all these things are similar, so they'll go with spot book. And finally the auction book. So orders that are entered for all the securities will be covered under auction book. This was all about the order books. What all terms do we use in order books? This is a question which has been asked in CA final examination attempts as well, and I'm sure that you guys must have got the complete clarity with respect to bought out deal, odd lot dealers and order books as well. Shall we proceed further, guys? Let's go ahead with the last topic of this presentation, and that will be circuit filters or circuit breakers. This question is also been asked multiple times in the CA final examination, be it November 7, 10 or 12 and many other. So what does circuit filter or circuit breaker actually means? So guys, what's gonna happen in circuit filter is you must have heard about this term wherein if in case the prices falls beyond, let's say 10%, 15% or goes up beyond 10%, 15%, what's gonna happen is stock market itself is going to basically fix up a filter in that particular case. That's the trading for that particular stock is going to stop and circuit filter is inserted. So these are basically the price bands. Circuit breakers or circuit filters, these are the price bands that set the upper and the lower limit within which a stock can fluctuate on any particular day. Usually that amounts to around 10 to 15%. That's more than sufficient. So beyond that, usually circuit filter is just not available. So the only difference between a circuit filter and a circuit breaker is that the circuit filters are basically for the individual security and the circuit breakers are for the market as a whole. So this was all about basically circuit breaker and circuit filter. So these are the price bands that set the upper and the lower limit within which a stock can fluctuate on any particular day. Now, if I'll talk about the purpose, what's the purpose of having these circuit filters and circuit breakers? So what's happening is the price bands basically restrict the extreme price movements and thereby they restrict the price manipulation. These basically protect the investors from extreme fluctuations in a panic market created by rumors and short-term fears. So this is basically the purpose behind these price bands. Now mostly if I'll talk about, so it's currently also 10% limit is there. So SEBI has directed a stock exchange to apply the circuit filter on scripts which are traded in rolling settlement if their price fluctuates by more than 10% of the closing price of the previous day, either increase or decrease, anywhere around 10 to 15% is the circuit filter. Then comes market-wide circuit breakers and trading halts. So I must tell you again something beyond this as well. So that will be that SEBI has introduced market-wide circuit breakers and trading halts. Market-wide trading breakers, circuit breakers are basically on 10%, 15%, 20% of the movements in these indices. Whichever is breached earlier, these breakers provide the time to participate to react to the movement by way of trading halt. The trading halt of the stock exchange shall be with the kind of following guidelines. So movement can be expressed in terms of percentage, let's say 10%, and movement in index, if I'll have to compare with the 10%, let's go with 15% as well. So what will be the time period wherein the trading will get halt? So that depends on the stock exchange. That will range from 1 hour to, let's say, no trading halt at all. So that will be depending upon the kind of situation. And if in case the movement, the index is basically 20%, then the trading shall halt for the remaining period of the day, complete. So trading is not going to happen in that particular case. So what's the basis of calculating that market-wide circuit breakers? So these percentages are not calculated on day-to-day basis, guys. Understand that. But they are fixed for a quarter. These are fixed with absolute kind of points for index variation on the basis of closing of that index on that last working trading day of the previous quarter, and is the basically thing which is going to be reported in advance to the market participants at the beginning of the relevant quarter itself. So this was all about circuit filters and circuit breakers. This is one such question which has been asked n number of times in the previous CA final as well. So all you need to remember is these are the price bands that set the upper and the lower limit within which the stock can fluctuate on any kind of particular day. The purpose, they are going to restrict the extreme price movements and thereby restrict the price manipulation. SEBI has directed the stock exchanges to apply the circuit filters and scripts on the trading rolling settlement. Market-wide circuit breakers are also there, and trading halls. All these things will be covered under this particular segment, which has been like covered thoroughly. Now all you need to do is just revise whatever has been like told to you in order to ensure that you guys don't flunk in your C final examination. Revision is something which is extremely important, and you just can't avoid that. With this, I'll say thank you on behalf of the Edupedia world. Keep interacting by our questions, queries, and YouTube comment boxes. I will love to answer each one of your queries and grievances. If in case you have liked our video, do give us a thumbs up. Stay connected. That will help us in understanding your needs way better. With this, I'll say thank you. Sayonara. God bless you all. See you in the next presentation with a lot more exciting topics. Till then, good night. Bye.